Right now, it's the time of poppies, where people wear poppies in remembrance of people who've died in wars. And I could take my Irish hat off because at the end of the day, I'm a guest in their country. Sure, they were our colonizers for many, many years. But at the same time, I was in their neighborhood. So I just had to admire, or not admire, but observe from a distance at least. So from an Irish point of view, um, I think it's important to have a mature, open mind. Also, I see nothing anti-Irish, of course, but I think it's also important to acknowledge and embrace that these people have history too, whether we like it or not. Some parts are awful, some parts are great, but
Yeah.
every country has its own story.
Yeah, and those things happen like a few generations ago. Like most people
Yeah,
that we encounter on the street have nothing to do,
no,
with the bombings and things like that. So that would be silly
exactly.
just to ask them for an explanation, for
Yeah,
for a story or things like that. I think we need to set those things aside.
absolutely. I mean, I played a show, as I said there earlier on. I played a rock concert, and it was me and my friend from Dublin. Nobody in that room cared that we were from Dublin. We were talking on the microphone between each other between songs, and they absolutely loved it. They thought it was hilarious because we don't take ourselves too seriously when me and my friend are playing our two-piece band. We're called Stitch Jones, by the way. If anybody wants to check us out on Spotify or Instagram, it's very ridiculous music. It's a lot of fun. We're actually playing in Dublin on the
What kind of
22nd.
music you play?
Oh, we call it punky funky. It's rock music, but it could be disco 1 minute and punk the next minute. It's as schizophrenic as I am and my friend is. So yeah, we've played for we played 10 years. We played our first concert 10 years ago, but because my friend Brian Watchy, he lives in London now, we only get together a few times here. But thank God for Ryanair, right? So yeah, I mean, those people there, those English people there at the gig, they loved it. They had a great time. There was nothing to do with being Irish. No nonsense. Everyone, even though I always hear these rumors about people in London, they're so ignorant. They'll push you off the tube. They'll shove
Yeah.
you out of the way in the stairs. There was nothing like that, Victor. Absolutely nothing. Like, people were walking past me. Oh, I'm so sorry, mate. Oh, can I get past you? It was fine. Absolutely fine. I had a great few days, and I'm looking forward to going back.
So when you travel, uh, is it different if the country is also a native English speaker when it comes to home
Yeah.
feeling, finding your way around? Like,
Yeah,
how do you like compare the two experiences?
that's a great question. And I was only talking about this aspect of traveling the other day when I was in London. I said to my friend, it's so relaxing that I can understand everything that's written on the walls. I know exactly where I'm going. But it's kind of strange because when I went to Brazil, I was in Sao Paulo and I found myself getting used to the metro in Sao Paulo a little bit quicker than the one in London, even though everything in London was in English. I don't know. It was just, I just found Sao Paulo a little bit easier, even though the two cities are both around the same size. They are both massive. But I think the last day I was in London, I really started to find my way around the place, and that was fine. But yeah, great question. Because apart from going to somewhere in the USA or Australia or New Zealand, I know 67 countries in the world speak English, but the big economies, the big countries like the Englands, the USAs, the New Zealands, the Australias, all that stuff.
Ireland these days.
It's interesting to go to those countries where English is the first language. Yeah, um, it made my life a lot easier. Yeah, my brain was able to relax a lot more than when I was in other countries, for sure.
Yeah, it's the same when I was in Brazil in September. So I would
Yeah,
feel like an Englishman in the in the former colony, which but I didn't have any bad experience. I think like for the most part, say 85, 90, 95% of people, they were totally okay with my presence. They were even hesitating whether I was Portuguese or not because
yeah.
I'm living abroad for 18 years. So I have like a strange Portuguese accent at this point. Some people even thought I was an Argentinian who was able to speak Portuguese.